Hi everyone, and welcome back to Crochet Cricket. This is Christine, and today I'm going to teach you how to make these easy crochet zipper pouches. They're really quick and simple to do. This is what it looks like on the outside, and then this is what it looks like on the inside. Okay, great. So let me show you the materials you're going to need to get started. Okay, so these are the materials you're going to need. A pair of scissors, a very sharp darning needle. So this one has a nice sharp point. And on this side, it has a big enough hole for me to get my thread through, but it's not super wide. That's going to help it to go through the material of the zipper. So that's kind of an important piece to have a good darning needle. You're going to want to have some kind of cotton yarn is what I recommend. This one is category 3 and it calls for a 3.5 to 4 millimeter hook. So I'm going to use a 3 millimeter hook, which is a little smaller than the recommended hook size because I want my fabric to be stiff because I'm not lining this bag, so I want it to be stiff. And then you're going to need a zipper. Okay, so those are all our materials. Now let's get started. And just one more thing I want to mention for your zipper before we chain our stitches is make sure you get a zipper that is 1.5 1 or 1.5 inches longer on both sides than your actual bag. So because when you sew this in, those are going to tuck down in and you need a little bit, to work with. So just make sure that your zipper is wide enough for your bag. Okay, so to begin, we're going to want to make a chain that will measure the width of the bag. So I'm going to make a chain of 35 because I know that that is about what I've done here. And then we're going to work around the chain in a circle on both sides. And if you need to know how to do a chain stitch, I'll show you. So you're going to want to wrap the yarn around your finger 2 times to make a slip knot to begin. This is how I do it. I take the back loop and bring it to the front of my finger, and then I take now this back loop off, and that makes me a slip knot. So I start with the slip knot, I insert my hook, and then to do the chain stitches, you're simply going to yarn over, lay the yarn over your hook, and then pull it through the loop on the hook, and that is one chain. So yarn over, turn your hook, pull through the loop, 2 chains. Yarn over, turn your hook down to lock it in, pull through, 3. So I'm going to do a chain of 35. You go ahead and do a chain of however many stitches you need for your pouch. Okay, so I have done my chain of 35 stitches, and you can see that it is about the same width as this other bag pouch that I've made. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do is single crochet in every stitch to the end. So to single crochet, we're going to start in the second chain from the hook. You're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull up 1 loop, 2 loops on your hook, and then you're going to pull through both loops. That's a single crochet. So insert your hoop, insert your yarn, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through both loops, insert, pull up a loop, pull through both. Okay, so you're going to single crochet all the way down until you get to the very last chain, and then meet me back. Okay, so I've done a single crochet in every chain, and now I have 1 chain left. In the very last chain, you're going to do 3 single crochets. So we're doing that increase on the end. It will help us to work around to the other side. Okay, so now we're on the opposite side of the chain, and you're going to work a single crochet all the way down until you get back to the beginning, and then meet me back and I'll show you what to do at the end. Great, so I have done single crochets all the way back up the other side of the chain. And now I have just this one first stitch left. Now if I want to be sure that I have the same amount of stitches, what I can do is count the stitches between the ends. So I would skip that first stitch and then count what I have, skip the 3 on the end, and count what I have on this side. And I would have 32 stitches on this side, 3 on the end, 32 stitches on this side, and then 3 on the end because I'm going to put 2 more single crochets in that first stitch to complete the circle. Great. And we're back to the beginning, and you're just going to want to join into that very first stitch. And I usually give my yarn a little bit of a tug before I join to make that less noticeable. Okay, great. And then for round 2, you're going to chain 2 stitches, and you are going to work into the same stitch that you joined into a double crochet. The chain 2 does not count as a stitch, and when we come back around, we're going to join into this first stitch. Okay, so if you're using a stitch marker, then that's where you're going to put your stitch marker, into that first stitch. You're going to ignore the join and ignore the chain 2. So we're just going to work 1 double crochet in every single stitch all the way across. And if you're not familiar with the double crochet, you're just going to want to yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, pull through 2, pull through 2. So yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, pull through 2, pull through 2. So we're going to continue doing double crochets all the way down, and we're actually going to go all the way down, and we're going to do 1 in every stitch all the way around until you get back to the beginning, and then meet me back. Okay, so I am back to the beginning, and I just wanted to do this last stitch with you because it can be a little funky. So this right here is my first real stitch that I did. This is the chain 2. Okay, so this is where I joined, and this is my chain 2. So you do not work into where you joined, and you do not work into the chain 2. You're going to join right up here in the top of that first real stitch. And sometimes it's really hard to see that. You think that this place where you joined is a stitch, but it is not. So that's where sometimes when you get back to the end of your row, you may accidentally add a stitch. And then that's also why when I join in the top of my stitch here, I like to pull the yarn tight to try to make the join kind of small so I don't mistake it for a stitch when I come back around. Okay. Great. And for round 3, you're going to do another round of single crochet. So you're going to start round 3 by chaining 1, and you're going to do your first single crochet in the very same stitch that you joined into. And when you come back around, you're going to ignore the where you joined, and you're going to ignore your chain 1, and you're going to join right back into that first stitch. And now you're just going to want to repeat those 2 stitches, the single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet. You're going to repeat that until you have your pouch as tall as you want it to be. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds of double crochet. and then at the end I finish with 3 rounds of single crochet, because this gives me just a little bit of stability at the top of the pouch, and it makes it a little easier when you're sewing it in. So just go ahead and make your pouch as tall as you want it to be, and put you know, 2 or 3 rounds of single crochet at the top. And then meet me back and I'll show you how to finish off the edging here and how to add the zipper as well. Okay, so I've finished all my rounds. This is what my pouch is looking like now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 6 rows of double crochet, and then at the end I have 3 rounds of single crochet. And to finish off, what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to slip stitch around the border, and to slip stitch you're just going to insert your hook into the stitch, pull through, and then pull through the loop that's on your hook. So pull a loop up, pull through the loop that's on your hook. Okay, so you're just going to do this all the way around your border to finish, and then we're going to do our zipper. So I'll meet you back once you've done your slip stitch. Okay, so I'm coming back around to the beginning, and I usually will do 1 slip stitch into the first slip stitch that I did to finish that off. And now you're not going to cut your yarn, because and this is how much yarn I have left. So it takes 1 ball for me. I usually can always do this pouch with 1 ball exactly of my cotton yarn. And now we're not going to take our yarn off of here. What we're going to do is we're going to measure out 5 lengths of the bag for the for sewing the zipper. So what I usually do is I just take the yarn, and then I'd say that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, and that's 5, and then I'll cut it, whatever little bit is left there. Right, and then I will pull this through the loop that's left. Okay, and then done with all of that, gonna thread my needle. Okay, and then I just want to get my yarn over where I want it, so I'm gonna bring it through there, so that kind of closes that up, and then see how close I am. And I want my yarn to be on the outside of the bag, not the inside of the bag. So I'm going to bring it to the front. And still, that could be okay, because we're going to put our zipper end in here, and we're going to tack it together. We're going to sew through both sides. So I'm going to take my zipper. This is the zipper that I have. You're going to take the end, and there are many ways you could do zipper and lining and all of those things. This is just one way that I've found to do it. If you're not quite ready to do linings and all of those things, and you just want a zipper pouch, you can do it this way. And these zippers that I have, they don't have the little guideline on them, because I bought these in bulk, and they're not the the best ones. But usually you'll see like a little line indentation in the zipper, and that's the line you're going to want to try to follow when you seam it in. And again, you want to make sure you have a very sharp needle. And if you're using worsted weight yarn, you may want to split your fibers if it's too thick. This is a category 3 yarn and I feel like it's fine. So see, the sharp needle just goes right through. So we're going to take the end with the stopper on it. We're going to fold it over like this, and we're going to tuck it down into the bag on the corner, and then pull the zipper to make sure that like the head of your zipper on the other side reaches the other side. And that's pretty good. And that's why you need that extra little bit of space on each side. So over here, I'm going to work underneath the teeth of the zipper through both sides of the zipper. I'm gonna go in, and I'm gonna go under my I'm gonna go under the slip stitching round that I did, under through the teeth on both sides, and I'm gonna pay attention to where my yarn is coming out because I don't want it to look woppy. So see, just making sure. It's a little challenging to do on camera, so let me just line it up again. Okay, so we're gonna go through. It's very hard to show you upside down. I'm gonna go through both sides of the zipper all the way to the other side, working between those single crochet stitches underneath the slip stitching round. Okay, and you pull that through, and then I just kind of go beside that if I can. I want to double do that, so like, and I'm going to go back on the other side, and I'm going to do that again, and this is going to tack down my zipper and keep it in place while I stitch across. And then for the last time I do it, I don't like really care if I catch the zipper. I just want to get my needle on this side because now I'm going to work this way. So now I'm just like hopping it back forward without, it doesn't matter if I catch the teeth on that time. So now and you see, it's like, it's tacked in there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring down the zipper, and you can pin it if you want. I'm not going to pin it. I know how to do it without pinning it now that I've done so many. But I'm just going to line the top of the teeth of the zipper up on top, like so they just sit on top of this slip stitching. Okay, so I'm going to hold it in place like that. You know, and it might take you a little bit of playing to get used to doing this. And of course, if you're not comfortable, get some straight pins and pin it before you start sewing it in. That would be totally fine to do that. So as I work my way across, I'm going to go in, I'm going to check on the inside to make sure that it's like in the middle of the zipper. Okay, and then I'm going to go, the first one is hard to show you because it's so scrunched up in there. I'm going to go like right beside there, and I'm going to make sure that I come up on this side between my single crochets, because that's how I like to come on. I like to measure it out. Okay, that's good. And the first one is kind of hard to do just because you're in the corner, and it's a little bit harder to see what you're doing, but after that it gets easier. Okay, so now, and I'm just going to make sure my zipper stays lined up. I'm going to skip this single crochet. I'm going to go in between the next single crochet, look on the back side to see if I'm lining up, and pull through. Okay, the next one I'll hop over about the width of a single crochet, check on the front that it comes through in between the single crochets. So I'm just always checking how I'm lined up before I actually pull it through. Okay, so you're going to continue with that all the way until you get to the next corner. Okay, so I have gotten almost all the way. You can see this is how it's looking now. And if I fold it like it's going to be like that. And this is what it looks like on the inside line so far. Okay, and so now I've just got a little bit more to go on this side. So until you get right up in the corner there, what you can do is just keep laying your zipper flat. Even though that this kind of goes around the corner, it's okay until you get like right at the corner. That you continue to go like that. So I'm going to come up on my next one, my next stitch. Oops. See how I try to, hold on. Okay, and I go right between the single crochets, making sure that my teeth are sitting like I want them to. I skip over that single crochet and just check the back, get it where I want it. Okay, there's a couple more to do. We're nearly there. Okay. To the corner and you're ready to tack it into place, I open the zipper just a little bit and I line up these two pieces on the end, and then I bring them in and tuck them just like I tucked the other side. I'm going to tuck these. Okay, so once you have this other corner tucked in, right, you're going to tack it down just like you tack down the other side. So that means I want to make sure that I go through both pieces and end up on the other side of the pouch. Okay, so I'm going to go in how I would usually go in. You just have to pay attention to where your zipper is. See, that doesn't catch under the teeth. So I have to kind of adjust it a little bit to pull it back a little bit to make sure that I'm getting under the teeth when I'm tacking it in. So, and I can come back this way a little bit. It doesn't have to quite be where I would usually have. And try to make sure that your teeth stay lined up next to each other like they are when they're closed. Okay. There we go. And on the other side. Okay. Okay, so now we've went through the other side, and I'm gonna come back again like I did on that side, going through both pieces. Okay. And then I'll just go on the end, and it doesn't matter if I catch, again, just to get myself on the other side. So I can do the opposite side now. Okay, so we've done one side of our zipper pouch, our zipper. Okay, and when you're doing these stitches, don't pull it too tight. You don't want to like deform. It makes a wobble in your work if you're pulling your stitches too tight. And now I can unzip this all the way, open it all the way, and then just follow the teeth. Again, line it up with the teeth, and I'm going to follow this back across until I get back to the beginning. Let's see, so the teeth should be on top. I'm going to go to my next stitch. I'm going to try to be like in that line that I'm following on my zipper. Okay, and then I'm going to come out, should be making sure my teeth are lined up, they're good. Go in the middle of the single crochet, check on the back, that's good. And then just work your way back across your zipper. Just paying attention that you've got your teeth on top here so you can see them above, like right above the bag. That way it has enough room to zip up. Once you zip up the bag, you won't be too close to your fabric. Okay, so I'm gonna work all the way back across and then I'll meet you back. All right, I'm almost to the end. It looks like this so far. I have just a couple more stitches to do. So I'm gonna do those with you. If I can keep on camera. Okay, so there's that stitch. Let's go in this stitch. So getting right near the end. You have just a little bit of extra length of yarn left. Okay, and I'm just guessing that's gonna okay. Let me get back up to the beginning and just, that's good. Okay. I'm gonna put my zipper, I'm gonna put this inside here. Still look. I think that's good. I'll look at it this way. I could maybe do one more. This angle. Okay, and then just bring it back on the inside. And I can even just go under the zipper at this point, because I'll just bring my yarn to the inside and then I will sew it in. So I'll use, let's look for a good spot. Let's go there. So you're just going to go under some of these single crochet stitches to weave in that end. I usually go under 3 or 4 stitches in one direction, and then I'll go in another direction back over the top of that. And just weave in that tail. Okay, and once you're comfortable with that, snip the end. And I do have one other tail in there that I have to close up, but our pouch is basically done. And it looks amazing. These are my favorite pouches to do so far. I'm really excited about this. It does, I mean, maybe it took me 2 to 3 hours to do one, so you could easily do more than one in a day. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I'd love to see your pouches. Please share them to me on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, and I have a TikTok page. I'll put the links in the description, and I can't wait to see you guys' pouches. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe and help support my channel so I can keep making more videos like this for you guys. Thank you.